welcome to my channel, The Reclusive Crafter. My name's Dawn. I'm really excited for today's video. I have been getting on with the Winter Wonderland Journal and I've covered it over because I didn't want to ruin the surprise. I'm really pleased with this. So I have completed the cover, which I'm not going to lie, I am absolutely delighted with. I don't know if this really comes out on the camera very well, but I've done a 3D effect with all of the animals with some of the animals within the kit, and I've given it a real Christmassy theme by using sparkly papers and little embellishments as well, and just topped it with a few little extras there. And then the spine is of a similar theme. I've kept that relatively plain in comparison to the front, and then we've just got a very plain back cover, which is very pretty as well. And then in the inside, I'm going to get this out of the way now because I am going to be doing some work on this video, but I've got as far as putting the signatures in and putting all the pockets together, but the pockets aren't actually in yet, so that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. So let me just take you through what I've actually done. So this is the front. I've got a flip pocket here. I do want to do a little bit of embellishment on there, and then this comes over. I've done, I don't know if I'm still in camera shot there, I've done a little lace pocket there, which I think is just beautiful. I've also done a little slip pocket there on that front cover, and then the signatures themselves are what they are. They're just the signatures. You'll get to see this on the full walkthrough, but pocket wise I've done a three-tier pocket there, little cross-section pocket there, which is going to go on there. I'm just going to take you through the pockets for now rather than do a full walkthrough. I decided to use these envelopes, which you might remember in my last video I showed you that I had, that I wasn't sure if I would use or not. I have decided to use these envelopes, and I'm going to be using that as a flip, so that will be flipped there, and then you come over to this side, and then that'll be a tuck there. So that's how that's going to work. I have decided to use these as well because they're very winter orientated and Christmas orientated, so that little double pocket will be going on there. And then I've done a transparent pocket. The idea of that is that will go over the wolf there, so that you can see the wolf when you actually take the tag out of that pocket there. And then these I showed you on video previously, so these I put in as well, and these are going to be, I haven't made my mind up yet if I'm going to do a side tuck here or a top tuck. I think I might do a side tuck. I think that'll be easier to utilise these, and they're going to sit nicely on there. Love those, think they're beautiful, very happy with them. What else have we got? We have got, oh, there's loads in here, to be honest. I showed you these as well, the little transparent die cuts that I did. That's going to be going on to there so that you can see the design through there. I'm trying to keep as many of the journal pages as journal pages rather than fill them up with bits. And then this is lovely. I just love this. This is a little transparent. This was, what do they call them? A CD sleeve, which I made a template out of. I've already done a journal card for this, but look at this. How gorgeous is this? If you take that out, there's a little squirrel underneath that you can see. So, so that's that one, and that's going to be sitting on there, and that's also going to be a top pocket as well. And then this one is just going to be a little tuck pocket there, or a little tag pocket there. I might put that on that side actually, so that will go there. And then on this one I'm doing a double side pocket there, so that's going to be going on there. And then the second signature is pretty much a duplication, but just using different styles. So I've got the squirrel on that one, and I've got the owl on that one. They're not in the same places either because I had to juggle it around because of the way I've done the signatures pages. But the owl is going to be going on there. This fella is going to be going on here. And I've got the other envelope there, which is going to flip there so that you can still use the journaling space. And then as you come over again, that's just going to be a little tuck there. And then this little transparent one is going to be going over the little deer, so that's going to be going on there. And then we've got our foxy and our deer here. If I can, they work better when they are sealed down. Oh, there we go. So that one, I love these. I just think they're lovely. And then that's going to be going on there with another side tuck in there. And then we've got our transparent pocket, which is going to be going there. And we've got our little squidgy, which is going to be going there. And we've got a second one of these, which is, I don't know again if you can see the little house there as you look through on the journal card. And then we've got Mr. Wolf on there, so he's lovely. I love those. I think that they've come out even better than I'd actually imagined they would. So that's going to be going on there. And oh, I missed one. Oh my goodness, let me show you this. Where is it? I was so chuffed with this. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Where has it gone? It's only a tiny, it's going to be a tiny little tuck. You may recall I had those film slides that I wasn't sure how I would make. There we go. So I had these film slides that I didn't know, I wanted to use them, but I didn't know how I was going to use them. I've done these. Look at those. Aren't they so cute? They're lovely. And that's going to just be a little side tuck there, just for a little journal card. And I'm so delighted with those. I think they're beautiful. And I have done another one back here somewhere. There we go. That's what reminded me to tell you. And then that's the other one that's going to be going on there. I was so chuffed with those. I think they're beautiful. I'm saying they might go on there. I might even just do them as just a centre belly band, actually, because they're gorgeous. Aren't they just lovely? I was delighted with how they came out. And all I did was I got the printer to print 2 lots of the journal cards onto the same page, and it just reduced them to that size, which is lovely. Absolutely love those. I'm so excited that they've come out so well. And then we've also got the little double pocket there that's going to be going on there. And that's that. So that's all my pockets sorted out. All I need to do now is make all the stuff to go in them and do the embellishments that I want to do. So that's as far as I've got with it for now. So if you'd like to join me while I pop some of them in, and I can tell you a little bit more about how I made things and all that sort of thing, you're very welcome to. If you want to jump off and just join me for a final walkthrough later on, please feel free to do so. But I'm just going to spend a little while now just popping some of these in. So my first one is this one. I hope you're all having a good Saturday. Today I am all on my own this morning. Oh, where's my top gone for that? Oh, it's there. It's come off. Yeah, I'm on my own this morning. My other half has gone to his shooting club that he has. He does air rifle shooting, not animal shooting. And yeah, he's out for the morning, so I've got a nice quiet morning all to myself, which is nice. And I'm just going to spend my time with you guys, just doing a little bit of my journal and my video, and then later on I'll probably do that as well, to be honest with you, just a bit of journaling. Excuse my reach, just need to unblock that nozzle if I can. Can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Smashing. Yeah, so today is just going to be a nice crafty day, I think. I do like Saturdays. Saturdays is really my only real downtime that I get. Oh, and this is going to mess about today, isn't it? Why does this always do this when you're on camera? It doesn't seem to happen when I'm not on camera, but inevitably it does when I am. And that keeps coming off as well, which is really annoying. Never mind. There we go, we'll get there. Okay. Well, we will get there if I can sort myself out. There we are. Are you going to come out? There we go. That's a bit blobby. It's a little bit blobby. That's not coming out of there terribly well at all. I think I might have to revert to a different glue, because you don't want to be bored and watch me unblock my nozzle while I'm doing this, because that would be really entertaining. There we go. I'll pop that on there. I'm just leaving a little bit of a gap. I'm going to pop that down. And then what that does is that gives me, have I got a little tag that I can show you? Let me grab a little tag. Oh, I've done with them, they're there. So I will make bigger tags, obviously, but there'll be a pocket there, a pocket there, and a pocket there. And this little pocket design is courtesy of Gail Agostinelli. I first saw this one, and I just thought it was lovely. It really lends itself beautifully to any journal, and works for anything really. And they're really easy to make. Literally, all you do, let me find a sheet of paper and I can show you basically what to do. So you've got your sheet of paper here, and you just go from the top, or depending on how high you wanted it. I didn't want it to go right to the top, so I trimmed, I think I trimmed about an inch, maybe an inch and a half off the top there, and then from the top corner I came down 3 inches, and I just brought the cut down 3 inches, and then all you do then is you just fold it into 3 like that and glue your sides. So very simple to do, but as you can see, very effective. It's a really nice little pocket to add dimension to your journals. Now this little fellow, and you know, I'm talking away and I've forgotten to put distress ink on that, and I bet I can't get it off now without ripping it, can I? No, and I don't want to try, so I'm not going to. Or can I? Can I get that off without ripping it? What do you reckon? I am going to talk you through all the warts and alls of this journal, because I have made some really dumb mistakes. But do you know what? That's journaling life for you. You will... Oh gosh, come on, don't rip. Please don't rip. You will make mistakes when you're journaling, but the beauty is if you don't tell anybody what those mistakes are, the reality is they will never know. So it really doesn't make too much difference. I'm really trying to... That's not going to ease off of there without absolutely ripping it. So do you know what? I'm just going to do my best here. I'm just going to do my best is what I'm going to do. So let's have a look, see if we can rescue this. So I really just wanted to just put a little bit of ink round before I stuck it in, but as with all plans, my memory is shocking, you know, really, really shocking, and I forget things all the time. But yeah, there are ways and means of doing it. Oh, I don't want to use that. What's that there? Can I use that? I'll use that. I put that in there. I can just give that a little scotch there, and then I'm going to go down there with that one. And now this is going to be entertaining to do this side, because it seems to have stuck itself down before I realised my mistake. So I'm going to do my best to do this without ruining the whole blooming thing, which would be nice, wouldn't it? Actually, let me fold that in half. This is just a bit of scrap paper. Give myself a straight line there. And as you can see, there are ways and means of rectifying one's mistakes. Sometimes you just have to think outside the box a little. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I can get in that bit there? Oh. Let me just dab that down a little bit with a little wetness. That's all right. Right. This is a real fiddle, isn't it? Oh, I'm really cross with myself. Don't mind. There we go. That's going to have to do because that's just making things worse now. So that's that. I'm just going to re-stick this down. And I would do if my glue would only stop messing about this morning. There we go. Let's have a look and see if that's a bit better. There we go. No. And then stick this one down. This is this blooming thing. This is the only thing, of course, with art glitter glue, is it really does stick brilliantly. So you do need to, once it's down, it's pretty much down, and there's not a lot of wiggle room with it really. If ever you're doing anything where you need a little bit of wiggle room, my recommendation would be to use Fabri-Tac or Pritt Stick if it doesn't need to have a real hefty connection. But art glitter glue sticks very, very quickly, and like I say, it really doesn't give you an awful lot of wiggle room. Right, you see, without losing that nozzle, that's way too much glue there, but never mind. It'll do. There we go. So that's that one on. That's that one on. Onwards and upwards. So this one is here, and I am going to do the edge on this one instead of being an idiot. Just as I said previously, I am using this well, the only way to describe it really, it's kind of an electric blue. I think it's beautiful, and it was only a cheap one. It's only one of the craft ink ones, but it works very well. You know, you really don't have to spend a fortune on the most expensive things to be able to have some really nice results. So, you know, please don't worry sometimes when you look at the cost of things and you think you could never afford to do that, because you don't have to use really expensive stuff all of the time to get the results that you want. And this one, I'm just going to do this one as a side tuck. So that one's going to go in there. And then I've got to go through and fill this all up afterwards. That'll be entertaining. Now then, this one is only going to be a little flip over. So all I want to do for this one is ideally just glue it down here. And I think I will distress this one as well. I'll give it a little bit of colour. That's that one done. I'm going to go in there as well. wondering if I can get that in there. These have actually already, when they're printed, these have already got a little bit of a distress line on them anyway. But I'm going to take that out of there so I'm not inking all over that. I just want to just give this a little bit of a blue edge rather than the coffee dye or tea stain edge. There we go. And that one goes in there. Like so. I'm just going to come around this edge here. Actually, you're not going to see that edge, but you will see this edge. So I'm going to go around this bit here, like so. Right then, and then this one is going to go on here. So just want to make sure I get it in the right place before I try and glue it down. So that's going to go there, and then I'm going to glue this down. Just going to put a tiny little bead of glue down here, and then I'm going to pop a bit of glue down the edges, which will then make this a nice little tuck spot. That's that one. Oops, steady. Oops, steady. And then fold that over. Make sure that sits right. What I don't want to do is glue it so that it won't open up, because that would be catastrophe. And that's that one down. There we go. Okay. Right, that's that one done. And now we've got this one. And this one I think I will... Do I want a side tuck or a top tuck? I think I'm going to go with a side tuck. So I want to glue those 3 sections down. So I'm going to hold the bit that I don't want to glue. I'm going to come round and glue the bits I do want to glue. There we go. And that one is going to go, have I done that right? Yep. Pop that just about central on there. Just give it a couple of minutes. It doesn't take long to take at all, as you saw on that first pocket. Just going to hold that down. That's that one done. Okay, this one I do want to do the edge. Let me just pop that on there. This one was just obviously an offcut, and I've done the pocket out of it. I've done the gusset edge, and I've also put in the acetate for the window. And the acetate, you can use any sort of packaging to do it with. I have actually got acetate sheets. I've had them in my stash for so long. So yeah, I've used those. But you can use any type of packaging to do your little windows with. It doesn't have to be actual acetate. Give this a glue in. And just mitre your corners when you're doing your little gussets. And just make sure your corners don't overlap, because that just adds unnecessary bulk to what you're doing. And that's that one done. And in actual fact, I am just going to just take the edge off those top bits as well, so that sits a little bit better on there. Okay, and now what I want to do with this one, I want to take it quite low down because I want it over the wolfie. There we go. Not too far. That's a little bit too far. Bring it up marginally. That's it. Get that right. Sorry if my head just got in shot there. Come on, up. There we go. Let's push that down. My hands are getting sticky already. There we go. And that's another one done. And now when the tag goes in there, when you pull your tag out, you get that lovely wolf behind it, which is lovely. Love that. Oh, now this one. This is going to be another side tuck, I think, because I think it's a bit too... Although it would look nice with a big tag in there, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think I'll go with a big old tag in there. Big old tag. Now then, I'm not going to distress the edges of this one. But what I do want to do is just make sure I'm not gluing the wrong thing. So if that's going to be a tag, I need to do those three sides. So I want to hold that one. And I want to glue this. I want to put a good bead of glue down, because this is quite a hefty little mechanism. So it does need a goodly bit of glue. But by the same token, you also want to leave enough, obviously, for your tags to come in and out. Or your journal cards, obviously, whichever your preference is. But I do want to make sure that there's enough glue on there to give that a good purchase. Okay, so that I want to bring... Right, that's all the way... Oh, gosh, that's down, so that will go up then. So I need to make sure that that's at the... I need to make sure that that's at the bottom-ish, but not over the page. So that's going to go on there. Just going to hold that into place, give it a good firm press. If that's not the most beautiful addition to any journal, I just think it's just adorable. Look at that. How amazing is that? Oh, that was good. That was more by luck than judgment that I planned that to go at the top there. All good things. There we go. Tra-la. How beautiful. I love that. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was the best thing I think Amanda's ever shown us how to do. I love it. Absolutely love it. Mind you, everything Amanda does is really lovely. So... and if you're a new viewer here, this is one of Amanda Charlesworth from Scrimping Mummy's collection that I'm working with, and as part of a design team, I love working with these. She does some absolutely lovely digital kits. Look at that. Oh, I could play with that all day. That's just so lovely. Love, love, love it. There we go. Right then, so that's that one. And for those of you that haven't seen a previous video, I will just explain as well. I made a huge mistake on this one as well. I've made two of these. There's one obviously in the second signature. And again, when I put it all together, it looked lovely, but I ended up with about 1/8 of an inch gap down here, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. I think it was on the other one I did it. So when I cut the frame, I allowed more here and more on the outside, just to tidy up the edges, because I didn't feel that the edges were particularly tidy, and I just feel that that frame now has just tidied everything up, and you would never know that everything underneath looks shocking because now it just looks beautiful. So there we go. So that's that one done. I'll stop playing with it now. Sorry, I'm probably boring you to death, but yeah, that was that one. I did like that one. Centre pages. I've used the scenes for the centre pages. I'm not sure what I'm doing with those at the moment. I will embellish them a little bit, I think, but I'm not quite sure with what at the moment. So this one, I just want to put a little bit of just a little bit of an edge on this one. Oh, I've left the glue top off again. Dawn, for goodness sake. There we go. Right, let me just give this just a tiny little hint, just to bring it in with the page it's on, because this is actually a greenish design rather than a blue. And they do say that blue and green should never be seen, but I think it's a load of rubbish. I think some blues and greens go really well together. There we go. Just a tiny, tiny little hint there, just to tie it in. And now I'm going to glue the three sides. So that's the top. I'm going to glue the... In actual fact, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac for this one, purely because I do think the Fabri-Tac dries nicely, more nicer, nicest, nice, whatever. It dries better anyway than the glitter glue does, in my personal opinion. Of course, people will disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. We're all entitled to our opinions, of course. But with this being the acetate, and it's quite a thin edge, it is going to bleed out under the acetate a little bit. I'm not doubting that. So I just want to use the glue that is less likely to be obvious. And I just feel that the Fabri-Tac is probably the better solution for that. And this one I'm going to just put on the edge here. That's that one done. I did leave that open, which is good. And again, just let me just dab that down. Mopping up any excesses of glues. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but I can't see that Fabri-Tac under there at all. So that's quite nice, and I'm sure some of it has spludged. Technical term, of course, spludged. And then that's going to be a little tag pocket in there. And I think we are past the halfway mark. Now then, this one, what am I doing with this delightful little thing? Do I want to put it as a miniature belly band on there? Or do I want to do it as a little side tuck? Or even... I don't know what I want to do with these ones, if I'm completely honest. I really don't know. I think I quite like the centre. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the centre on this. You're probably all screaming at me now saying, no, no, don't do that. Put it on the side. It's going on the centre. That's my decision. It's only going to be a tiny little one, isn't it? I suppose I could have done two, maybe. I might have got away with even one and even 5 little bits. But, yeah, putting those on to make a belly band might have been a bit difficult. There we go, just dab off that excess little bit of glue there. Doesn't that look lovely? probably not quite as central as it could have been, but it's good enough. It's good enough, guys. I like that. I'm really pleased actually that I've been able to use these little film strips, because I really wanted to use them. I've had them in, or I've had the die cut in my collection for quite some time, and I've never used it. I bought it with all the intentions of using it a lot, and I've never actually used it, so I'm really pleased that I have actually now found a use for it, and it works so well, so that's really exciting. What have we got? Oh, now we've got this fella. Oh, I do love this so much. Love this. So this one, I'm going to do this as a tuck, but I'm going to allow for a top tuck, because this has got a journal card that comes in and out here. And there's my little squirrel. I love it. It's gorgeous. Love that. I am really so chuffed with this folder, with this journal. I hope you'll agree it is a lovely little piece. I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink around the edge of this. I had already done the centres before I put the... oh, by the way, that bit in the middle there is just tracing paper. Right, I think that's good to go. So I'm gonna, where are we gluing? We don't want glue at the top there, so I'm going to put glue around these three edges. And again, I'm going to be quite generous with the glue, because again it is quite a hefty piece. I'm going to be nice and generous. It's a decent sized pocket, so it'll take a decent sized tag or journal card if I decide to go with the journal card. I just want to make sure that it's got a good contact. There we go. Okay, and now this one I'm going to put about there, because I want to allow for that tab not to be protruding. Just hold that in place for a couple of seconds. That looks nice, doesn't it, with the little house in there. Again, lovely, lovely design to work with. Just dabbing off the excess ooze. Just make sure I haven't glued that bit down. Don't think I have. Marvellous. There we go. I didn't get that very straight, did I? I've got wonky eyes, I think. There we go. Look at the squirrel. Now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me, now you don't. Ah. What else have we got that we're doing? We've got another little fella here. What are we doing with you, little fella? Now, I did the other one as a side. I think I will do this one. What do I want to do this one as? I think I'm going to do it as a centre top. I'm just going to pop a little bit of blue around the edge. A little bit of blue around the edge. So I'm not going to get all this done today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please do comment. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you all on board. I've had a little flurry of subscribers just recently. It is a relatively new channel, and I would love to build my followers up a little bit more. So if you like what you see, if you've got any questions about anything I do, if you'd like to know how to do something differently, or how to actually even do something, I'm happy to answer any questions. And I haven't forgotten about my lovely subscriber who wanted to see me make the journal cover that I did in the Asian Splendor, and also the stamping. Somebody wanted to see me how I did stamping as well, and I really haven't forgotten about those. I just keep getting swallowed up with other things at the moment, so apologies for that, but they are coming, I promise you. I just really wanted to get a journal done for Christmas, and I take so long to do my journals that if I didn't make a start on it now, it's not going to get done. Do you know, just as an afterthought, that would have been nice there with a little notch in there, I think, but I'm good with that, I think. Did I put a notch in the other one? I did not, because that's a side one, so that didn't need a notch. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Right then, and this little one, going to shove some glue. I'm going to put a top on there, and I'm going to put some ink around these edges just to finish these off. I've already put some little notches in these. Actually, I'm just wondering, do I want to, I think I'm going to curve those edges actually. Where's my corner rounder? Just going to curve those edges. 1 and 2. That one didn't seem to curve very well, did it? Maybe I didn't have it in there properly. That's better-ish, I guess. Get that out the way. That's better. That looks nicer, doesn't it? Right then. Oh, yeah, I will go at the back as well. Right then, that one's going to sit there. And then this one, let me do my corners. That's that one. That's that one. And that's that one. Right, so we want to put this one glue down the edges. Lovely straight gluing, huh? Not. And then we're going to pop this one on here. I'm going to go right up to the edge, just going to give a little bit of spacing there. That's that one down. And then we're going to do this one, edge all the way around. I go silent when I'm concentrating, have you noticed? And then this one's going to go on top, and that's going to go there. Lovely. There we go. That's that done. And that is the first signature completed. So I'm going to call it a day there, guys, because I think that's long enough for you to sit and watch me. And I will bring you back again when I've done a little bit more. So thank you very much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.